Let me tell you something that may surprise you. If you are over 50 and you've been doing squats faithfully, lowering down, pushing up, counting reps, feeling your thighs burn, and yet your hips still feel flat, your lower back still tight, your balance slightly uncertain, the problem may not be effort, it may be the exercise itself. Not because squats are bad, not because they don't work, but because after 50, the body you live in is not the same body you had at 25. And when the body changes, the strategy must change with it. Most fitness advice is built around younger nervous systems, younger joints, younger recovery capacity. It assumes that if you load a movement pattern hard enough, muscle will respond. And that's often true in a 20-year-old body. But after 50, something more subtle begins to matter. Coordination, timing, alignment. The conversation between the brain and the muscle. And if that conversation is unclear, no amount of squats will fix it. You see, the glutes are not just big muscles meant to lift weight. They are central stabilizers of the entire lower body. They protect the spine, they guide the knees. They absorb force when you walk, climb stairs, or catch yourself from a stumble. They are deeply tied to independence, posture, and confidence. When you are young, your body can compensate for inefficiency. It can get away with poor sequencing. The nervous system is fast, adaptable, forgiving. But as we age, compensation becomes more expensive. Muscles tighten more easily. Joints become less tolerant of repeated misalignment. The margin for error narrows. And that is not a weakness. It is information. After 50, the body demands clarity here. Is what quietly happens over the decades. We sit more than we move. We move mostly in straight lines. We carry stress in our lower backs. The pelvis gradually tilts forward. The hip flexors shorten. The glutes lengthen and become less mechanically efficient. The deep lateral hip muscles lose strength from lack of single-leg challenges. The result is subtle at first. A little stiffness when standing up, a little sway when balancing on one leg, a slight ache in the lower back after long walks. Nothing dramatic, nothing alarming, just whispers. Then someone tells you to squat more, so you do. You squat deeper. You add weight, you push harder. But if your pelvis is not positioned well, if your glutes are not firing in the right sequence, squats often reinforce quad dominance. The knees drive forward, the lower back braces excessively. The glutes assist, but they do not lead. And over time, you feel effort without transformation. This is not your fault. It is a mismatch between strategy and biology. Tonight, I want to guide you through 3 glute exercises that, for many people, over 50, are more effective than squats. They are not flashy, they are not extreme, but they are intelligent. They respect the nervous system. They restore communication between brain and muscle. They build strength from the inside out. As we move through this, I encourage you to reflect on your own experience. Have you ever finished a set of squats and felt your thighs more than your hips? Have you noticed your lower back working harder than you expected? If this sounds familiar, you are not alone. And if any part of this resonates, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I truly value hearing where you are in your journey. Your voice matters here. Let us begin with the first movement, the glute bridge. But not the rushed version, not the high-repetition momentum-driven version. The intentional version, lie on your back, feet flat, knees bent, arms relaxed. Before you lift your hips, pause and bring your awareness to your pelvis. Gently tilt it backwards so your lower spine presses into the floor. This small motion engages the deep abdominal wall and shifts the pelvis toward neutral alignment. That subtle adjustment changes muscle recruitment patterns dramatically. When the pelvis is in excessive forward tilt, the gluteus maximus is placed in a lengthened position where it struggles to generate force. By bringing the pelvis toward neutral, you give the glutes a mechanical advantage. Now slowly press through your heels and lift your hips. Imagine your spine lifting off the floor one vertebra at a time. Pause at the top. Breathe. Notice whether your ribs are flaring or your lower back is arching. Keep the ribs down. Keep the pelvis steady. Lower slowly, reversing the sequence. Why does this matter so much after 50? Because aging muscle does not simply shrink. It changes in composition. Fast-twitch fibers decline more rapidly. Neural drive decreases. Timing becomes less precise. The gluteus maximus may activate later than the hamstrings or lumbar extensors during hip extension. That delay changes movement mechanics. By slowing the bridge and emphasizing pelvic position, you retrain the firing order. You tell the glutes to initiate the movement rather than follow it. Over time, this resequencing influences everything else. Walking becomes smoother. Climbing stairs feels more stable. Even standing posture subtly improves because the pelvis rests in a more balanced position. The second exercise addresses something even more overlooked: lateral stability. When you walk, each step requires you to balance on one leg for a brief moment. During that moment, the gluteus medius and minimus prevent your pelvis from dropping. If they are weak, the pelvis shifts side to side. The spine compensates. The knees collapse inward. You may not notice it consciously, but your joints feel it. Lateral hip strength declines significantly with age, partly because daily life rarely challenges side-to-side control. We move forward, we sit, we stand, but we rarely train single-leg lateral stability. Intentionally, this is where the side-lying hip abduction becomes powerful. Lie on your side, stack your hips, keep your spine long. Place your bottom arm under your head for support. Engage your core gently. Lift your top leg only a few inches, keeping your toes pointed forward or slightly down. Avoid rolling your top hip backward. Avoid swinging. Pause briefly at the top. Lower slowly. You may feel a deep burn on the side of your hip. That is not superficial. That is the gluteus medius awakening. Studies examining balance and fall risk consistently show that improved lateral hip strength correlates with better single-leg stability and reduced knee stress. But beyond research, there is something deeply empowering about standing on one leg with confidence. It changes how you navigate uneven ground. It changes how you step off a curb. It reduces the subconscious fear of losing balance. After 50, fear of falling often becomes a quiet companion. Even if you never say it out loud, your body senses vulnerability. Strengthening the lateral hip muscles reduces that vulnerability. Now we integrate everything with the third movement, the supported single-leg Romanian Deadlift. Stand next to a wall or chair. Place your fingertips lightly for support. Shift your weight onto one leg with a soft bend in the knee. Begin hinging at the hips. Send your hips backward as your torso leans forward. Your other leg extends behind you like a counterbalance. Keep your spine long. Keep your pelvis level. Lower only as far as you can maintain control. Pause, then press through the heel of the standing leg to return upright. This movement trains the glutes eccentric loading, where the muscle lengthens under tension, has been shown to be particularly effective for stimulating adaptation in aging muscle. It improves strength while minimizing joint compression. But perhaps more importantly, this exercise integrates balance, coordination, and strength. Life after 50 demands integration. You bend, you reach, you rotate, you step unpredictably. Training in a symmetrical, stable stance does not fully prepare you for that complexity. The supported hinge challenges your nervous system to stabilize the pelvis while producing force through one leg. It teaches the glutes to control motion. In 3 dimensions, when you practice these 3 exercises consistently, something shifts internally. The glutes stop being passive. They become responsive. You may notice your lower back feels less tight because it no longer compensates excessively. You may feel more grounded when you walk. You may sense a quiet strength returning, and this strength is not loud. It does not demand applause. It is steady, reliable, protective. I often reflect on how aging is portrayed in our culture. It is often described as inevitable decline, but biologically, aging is adaptation. The body adapts to the signals it receives. If those signals are rushed, misaligned, and excessive, adaptation may manifest as stiffness and tension. If those signals are precise, controlled, and intelligent, adaptation manifests as resilience. Your body is listening. The question is, what are you telling it? If this perspective shifts something in you, I would genuinely appreciate hearing from you. In the comments, share which of these movements you feel drawn to try first. Are you starting with the slow bridge, the side-lying raise, the supported hinge? Let us know your age and where you're watching from. There is something powerful about realizing we are not navigating this stage of life alone. And if you find value in this thoughtful, science-based approach to strength after 50, I warmly invite you to subscribe. It supports this channel and ensures you continue receiving guidance designed specifically for your stage of life. We are not chasing youth here. We are cultivating longevity. There is a philosophical dimension to all of this. The glutes sit at the center of your body. When they disengage, other structures compensate. When they activate properly, everything aligns. Midlife can be similar. When we reconnect with what truly supports us, the outer structure stabilizes. Training the glutes intelligently after 50 is not about appearance alone. It is about preserving autonomy. It is about climbing stairs without hesitation. It is about rising from the floor with ease. It is about walking into the next decade with steadiness rather than uncertainty. If you have ever felt discouraged because your efforts did not produce visible change, consider this possibility. Perhaps you were working hard on the wrong foundation. Alignment before force, stability before intensity, integration before load. These principles honor the aging nervous system. Tonight or tomorrow morning, try these movements slowly. Feel your pelvis tilt in the bridge. Notice the deep burn in the side-lying raise. Sense the balance challenge in the supported hinge. Move with patience. Breathe with awareness. Your body is not a problem to solve. It is a system to understand, and when you understand it, it responds. If you choose to begin this practice, come back and share your experience. I would truly love to know what changes you notice, even small ones. And if you want to continue exploring how to build strength intelligently after 50, subscribe and stay connected. There is much more to uncover about how the body evolves and how we can support it wisely. Over 50 strength is no longer about proving something to the world. It is about preserving something within yourself. And sometimes that preservation begins by letting go of what no longer serves you, even if that thing is the squat, and embracing movements that speak more clearly to the body you have today.